Alright, there we are, already into the game. Spawning in the lower right, as our orange Protoss player, we have Vortex eSports, AppleJack. And spawning in the upper left, playing for Team Guns and Roaches, we have SerLagsALot as our green Zerg. Heavy Rain's always an interesting map for ZVP. Myself, as a Zerg player, I always think that it mildly favors Protoss with all those chokes. And we've got a lot of chokes on this map, all over the place. Small pathways, great places to force field, not a lot of open ground. But some Zerg players, especially playing the late game stuff, can actually take advantage of that somewhat, as it actually makes Swarmhouse play a little easier. Which probably makes a lot of people sad, as people who watch this game really find Swarmhouse play boring. But I can blame them. Pretty decent with Swarmhouse myself, and I find them boring. They can be used in a little bit less of a boring manner, but the way they're normally used and the way they're powerful, just not that fun to watch or that fun to play, frankly, even if it's powerful and the way to win. Anyway, we see Pool first coming out of SerLagsALot. No surprise against Protoss. Cannon rushes are no fun. AppleJack is sitting there with a probe right on top of his natural. Two drones coming down to make sure to tell that probe to move along. Probably a decent idea. Probe being very successful at blocking the hatch so far, though. Now, didn't delay it too much, but delayed it enough. And considering that extra drone coming down there took away some good mining times. Pretty valuable on what already got the early scouting information he wanted. Anyway, we're seeing a Forge first out of AppleJack. Actually, we saw Nexus first with a Forge second. So we're seeing a true Forge fast expand coming before the Forge. Pretty greedy. But that seems to be working out okay, as our Zerg player is not sending any truly early aggression. There's a probe again hanging out and getting some more scouting information, as SerLagsALot sends a drone down to make an early third. He has taken a gas already, but he hasn't mined that much gas, the gas only just having come up. In the meantime, we see the first gateway is coming down out of AppleJack and the gateway. But both players going for pretty heavy economy at this point. AppleJack has taken both gases though, so he's taken a lot of gas with no way to spend it so far. And he's going to have a heck of a gas bank coming up. The only thing he could possibly spend it on is start researching at the Forge, which he's not yet. Is speed on the way for SerLagsALot? Zergling speed. Getting those queens out there for those bases. Second queen just about to finish. First queen already done. He's actually taking his drones off of gas and is only mining minerals at this point. Might be going for some kind of really heavy Zergling attack, or just the absolute fastest drone up. We'll see how that turns out. In any case, over on the other side of the map, we do see +1 weapons on the way. Warp gate tech on the way. As well as another gateway. Probe here to finish the wall off. while that gateway warps in. And the mothership core and the first stalker about to be done. That's still a lot of gas for AppleJack. I do wonder how he's going to spend it. In the meantime, we see a roach warren coming down the other side of it. Lots of drones. SerLagsALot certainly knows how to drone up. Actually has taken his second gas and has drones and gas and an extra one hanging out. But also taking the third gas down here, so he's starting to get a good number of gas geysers, possibly going for as many roaches as possible, which is a bad way to go. Otherwise, we see a macro hatch coming down for him. And taking the fourth gas geyser as well. And with his lair about a third of the way finished, probably going to see some pretty heavy roach hydra, but mostly he's worrying about his economy. He also has a really nice overlord. Between all these overlords, he has a lot of map vision, especially with those two zerglings hanging out near the front. I mean, they're not going to do anything, not with the stalker there, not with the zealot there, and these stalkers get themselves a free overlord that's heading in to get some scouting information. Doesn't scout anything all that interesting, is pretty much all he's going to see is a few gateways at this point, because there isn't really anything other than the dark shrine hiding somewhere. Where is that? Over here. Did that overlord see that dark shrine? That's a very good question. Nope, dark shrine has not been scouted. Mothership core comes out to take out those zerglings outside of the base. But yeah, with all that extra gas, AppleJack could sure warp in a lot of Dark Templar if he wanted to. Dark Shrine is just about to finish. Blink is also about to be done. So it's looking like AppleJack has decided it's time to move out and start some pretty sneaky aggression. Coming around the backside, bringing a... yeah, make a warp-in pylon. Amusingly, this isn't scouted by that amazing overlord spread. And we got overlords everywhere for SerLagsALot. But not on this side of the map. This side of the map, everywhere. This side of the map, well, looks like this is going to scout them. I don't know. Did that see that? It did. Just barely saw warping in pylon. So he knows what's up. 7 roaches about to finish. And he's sending over some zerglings to really see what's up. We got 2 pylons here, which means he can almost certainly get a warp in. But I don't think he's going to try. Looks like he thinks it's just a... Nope, there's the warp in. And as those first stalkers go down, a number of other stalkers are warped in, apparently not wanting to reveal the Dark Templar yet. Those stalkers are retreating as those pylons are going down. But he took down a lot of units, so all in all, a pretty even exchange. And in the meantime, the Dark Templar have arrived. The natural's almost completely down. The main, there's no mining going on. Where even are the drones? Yeah, they've all been moved into the third. He actually didn't lose too many drones, I don't think, but looks like he might actually lose all of his hatches. He loses the main hatch, finally gets some overseers here. He's lost the natural, he's lost his main hatch. Finally gets them dead, but that and retains most of his drones. I mean, that's a pretty good number of drones still. Down 2 hatches. He is making a 4th over here. And at least the gas mining still occurring to this macro hatch, which proved even more useful. And rather than retake his original hatches, it looks like SerLagsALot has decided to expand instead. In the meantime, this warp prism has been scouted, and Queen picking away at it. It is carrying 1 Dark Templar and 3 Zealots. And we have a little poke going on here at the front. A few pylons right at the front of his base going down. AppleJack's still working on 2 bases. I believe he's about to take a third. Probably those pylons are there. But this has been prevented. And retaking his natural, it looks like SerLagsALot, although he lost a fair bit in that exchange, is really doing very well to re-establish his abilities. However, his harass, where he has all those drones, might not go the best for him. There's no... Oh, there is vision here, so they can at least see the Dark Templar. But even if you can see them, Dark Templar do a number on drones. 27 workers killed now. This is all going to get cleaned up by the Roaches and Lings, but that was a lot of damage. And still, this warp prism being pretty useful. You might actually get the macro hatch warping in more and more zealots and a few more Dark Templar. Looks like the zealots are all going down, and the Dark Templar are going to go down almost as quickly. There is an overseer here. Probably should have just warped in more zealots. Anyway, in the meantime, this warp prism is confirmed at least this 4th or 5th, I can't remember which base's existence, and is warping in a Dark Templar and a Zealot to take it down. They'll probably get it. SerLagsALot moving across the map with some Roaches, but starting to summon back over the other way. Overseer coming over to make it so that Dark Templar can be seen, but this base is down. That Queen is forfeit. Pretty great harass by AppleJack. And that harass is also keeping SerLagsALot in his bases. Now, it looks like he might lose that warp prism if he doesn't pull it back. Crawler goes down, but there is another one. But more Dark Templar is getting warped in. And I'm not sure he has really enough to deal with this very quickly. Warp Prism picks up most of the troops, actually leaves behind one Dark Templar. That's actually very cute. Because at first he probably thought that all the troops were picked up. The one Dark Templar, though, ends up under vision of this Overseer, and doesn't work out. But for the moment, we have both players pretty much staying in their bases. Warp Prism being the main thing that isn't. AppleJack has taken a 4th, is now just transferring probes over. Behind this is built quite a good traditional army. Heading on more and more Archons and Colossi. And a few Lings coming in to scout things are immediately destroyed, but do at least get to see that, well, there's definitely a base here, and there's definitely an army here. More gateways is finishing up for AppleJack. And he's sending another harassment squad in with a few Dark Templar and lots of Zealots, and those Zealots now have charge, so getting quite effective. Also 3-1 on his upgrades, so yeah, and SerLagsALot GG's at this point. The harassment just having been too much. AppleJack taking the second game and tying up the series 1-1.